everybody. Um, Welcome back to Babylon Bullshit, the Nerdcast, a podcast where we talk about all things nerdy because we can, because we have the microphones and you don't.
It's true. And today's the Hungry Nerdcast because I said burritos and that was a mistake.
Apparently, we're very hungry. I'm Lilith.
I'm Will. Hello.
Today, sorry, now I'm like giggling over the potential of getting a burrito.
Today we're talking about burritos.
You should probably go ahead and just order burritos. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett,
which is so good.
Takes place between season 2 and season 3 of The Mandalorian, which is why we're talking about this prior to speaking about Mandalorian season 3. Do we have any like housekeeping that we need to discuss?
Not really.
No,
we're good.
Before we jump in.
Final episode of our other channel, Hopeless and Bitter, is now up. I say final because we may come with something later, but for now, it's been our sign-off episode, and
we do have an exciting one that we're going to be starting pretty soon.
We are going to be starting an American Cryptid series soon, which is going to be a lot of fun.
I want to do like worldwide cryptids because there are some in other countries that are super fascinating.
They really are.
So after we get through America, we'll do some international ones too. But
we have to do Book of Boba Fett first.
Yeah,
it like Will said, it takes place in between seasons 2 and 3 of Mandalorian, which is perfectly wedged in there because we met Boba Fett in season 2 of Mandalorian.
Yes, and Fennec Shand.
Yeah, so this makes sense.
Yes.
I also love. So first of all, love that it's Tim Morrison coming back.
Of course
it is.
He was stoked.
Oh yeah, he was so excited about.
He's like, "You want me to do what?" Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, you want me to play someone in the Star Wars? Yeah, done. We didn't tell you who. Done. I don't care. Done.
Like, hey, Tim, do you want to? Yes.
And he nails it.
I didn't get to finish just yes.
Yeah.
Is this you're Dave Filoni? Yeah. And Jon Favreau calling me. Therefore, yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Star Wars, so yes.
Like,
I would.
Like you're not making a Netflix rom-com, pretty sure. So I'm on board. Like
I know. I mean, like I know I would immediately jump on board and be like, I will do
done.
all the Star Wars.
In. Fucking yes.
And I really liked the show.
I loved it. Especially as a one-off season.
Yeah.
Like, because
I do have one major complaint, which spent a little too long on the flashbacks, I think.
A little bit.
But
I did love diving into the Tuskens.
So in between, like what happened.
I loved
after getting out of the Sarlacc.
Well, I love diving into the Tuskens as real characters.
Yeah.
As real people,
for sure.
Because there's all we see of them up until this point is they are the violent mummies in the desert who shoot at people. Yeah. That's always
like my favorite noise.
Yeah, that's all we see. By the way,
such a good sound.
in episode 4 when he's like like doing the stick over his head, the way they did that is they just rocked the camera back and forth. They literally just rocked the shot to make it look like he's doing that.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
There are and honestly, we should do a whole series on like the
behind the scenes
technical fuckery of making the original trilogy because it's amazing.
They only had so much to work with, and especially with episode 4,
episode 4 damn near killed George Lucas.
Yeah, well, not just that, but like they didn't have a big budget.
No.
Like, and George didn't think it was going to go anywhere, and so when it did, he was like, "Oh fuck."
Star Wars is often called the greatest B movie ever made because it kind of is.
Yeah, episode 4 especially like. But they didn't have a lot to work with.
Yeah.
And then eventually they did have a lot to work with.
People kept forgetting Kenny Baker in the R2 suit.
Yeah.
They'd like go off to lunch and he'd have to like shout till someone let him out. Like,
yeah. Hello? Help.
But I love diving into the Tuskens as a real culture.
Yeah.
Because they're so fascinating.
Yeah. I didn't realize that it was a culture until we dove in with those characters because like like you said, when we first meet them, we see them in episode 4 and they're quote unquote savages, which I fucking hate that term for the record.
Yeah, me too.
But that's essentially what they are. And then when we see them again in the prequels, and we see them in episode 2, when Anakin, slaughters them
Yeah.
like the animals they are, but not just the men, the women and children too. And somehow Padme is like, "Ooh, tell me more about how you killed these children."
Kind of turns her on, which is creepy.
I don't look. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum.
Never gonna kink shame.
No. But that's a little weird.
This one's a little more like, hey, so this isn't kink shaming. This is more of me going like, hey, you might want to see a therapist.
Are you okay?
Like,
she's probably not okay. But
she married Anakin. How okay could she be?
That's true. So that's what we know is that they are considered animals, quote unquote savages, all of that. So we don't realize that they have a deep culture, which, oddly enough, is very reminiscent of Maori culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did that on purpose because of Tem.
Well, they also could because there wasn't any other like Tuscan culture.
No, we don't
described at all. Until this.
There's no like history of Tuscans, really. So to be able to play with that was really fun.
Was also the like lore of Tatooine going back, and they kind of touch on this in the show. Is that it wasn't always just a desert. The Tuscans are the descendants of the people who lived on this planet when it was lush and green and had oceans and that makes sense. Like, also, foreshadowing, climate change is a real thing.
What?
Yeah.
No.
One of these days, maybe we'll be the Tuscans, and Earth will be basically just a big old ball of sand.
Look, here's the thing: is I'm not opposed to that. As the lizard that I am, I am all for.
This is
fucking desert.
This is something I can attest to. Lil is basically only happy if they're directly sleeping under a heat lamp.
That's very true. I always joke around during the winter that I need a heat lamp and a rock.
I'm surprised you don't have a heat lamp.
I really should. I honestly, so I do.
Like even as a joke, it'd be funny to have one like just like in like in your house, just a big rock and a lamp.
I do suffer from depression. But during the winter, it's obviously worse.
Yeah, seasonal depression is a thing.
I get the seasonal depression issue. And I keep saying that I need to get one of those like sad lamps for that, for the seasonal affective disorder. And I still haven't because they're very expensive.
They are very expensive.
But I do want one real bad because I think that would be great for my lizard blood.
Honestly, I think you should do it.
Get that vitamin D and that heat. Give it to me. So,
or wait till the Earth becomes a desert, and then
also
you'll just
fine.
be happy.
I would just be thrilled.
I love the flashbacks because it just if they just said, "Well, Boba Fett escaped from the Sarlacc," and then didn't explain anything else.
Yeah,
that is a writer's tool. Like you can do that, and audiences can just assume that he escaped, and then you don't have to explain it. This is kind of like, watching a movie or a TV show 101. You have to suspend disbelief at some point and just accept shit that happens. Random fun fact about that. You have to accept that Tom Cruise is tall enough to be a fighter pilot. He's not. So
you have to also consider maybe Tom Cruise is not human. But,
yes.
Lizard person.
Yeah.
Part of the... Illuminati or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what conspiracy
Scientology
theory.
is his thing. Yeah.
I don't know what else he's a part of. I don't know.
Yeah.
Other conspiracy theories.
Oh, I'm sure there are many. I'm sure there are. Which we could do a whole channel on. It would be the longest channel we ever do because there are so many. But I love that they explained his escape in flashbacks, in the back to tank flashbacks. Because being in the Sarlacc fucked him up.
I mean, he was being digested for 20-something years at that point.
Yeah, understandably,
30
of course.
years almost, I think.
Yeah.
And Patton Oswalt did a great job of writing that first episode.
He basically did, yes. For anyone unfamiliar with that, Patton Oswalt as a... was this on...
It was on Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
He is, like, in front of the city council, and he's trying to, like, kill time and what you can do in any form of government, city, state, national, it doesn't matter. Any form of government, there's, if you just keep talking, they have to listen to you.
You have the floor as long as you keep talking. Welcome to the filibuster. Yeah.
That's literally like filibustering is such a fucked up thing.
From the Dutch word Rijgeiter, which means freebooter or pirate.
That's great.
Welcome to Will's House of Useless Facts.
So Patton Oswalt is up there to talk about, so I can't remember the exact premise of the episode, but he goes up and he's just like, several years after the Empire has fallen, going over, seeing a crashed ship and going over the Sarlacc pit, a hand comes out of the...
And he basically described the beginning of Book of Boba Fett to a T.
The entire beginning, because that's exactly what happens, is like it pans down and all of a sudden just a hand comes up. And I was like, stop it. Patton Oswalt actually fucking wrote the first scene of Book of Boba Fett.
Or
I wonder if like Dave Filoni was like, Patton
watched it and was like, we're gonna do it. Patton said, like,
yeah, like I wonder if he called Patton and was like, hey, so that thing that you did on Parks and Rec, we're gonna take that.
Can I have that?
And I'm sure the creator, Michael Schur, who did like The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and The Good Place. All incredible shows.
All incredible shows. Good Place especially.
I love The Good Place.
Is a great show.
Ended beautifully. It's such a good show. But
also,
Parks and Rec is
Ted Danson in anything.
Well, yeah.
Like
I'm personally like a big Parks and Rec person. I could rewatch that series over and over again and never get tired of it. But I'm sure he like contacted Michael Schur and was like, "Hey, can I take that?" And Michael Schur was probably like, "You can take whatever you want."
Sure thing. Go for it.
You work for Disney, yes.
Yeah. Well, also you work for Disney. If I say no, they're gonna find my body in a canal.
Exactly.
But the like modern and then the flashbacks to explain how he got to where he is. I love those do eventually collide, and you kind of meet up in the middle. Also explain how he hooked up with Fennec Shand, not sexually, everyone's mind out of the gutter, you dirty fucks. But like how he found her and why she teamed up with him. Also love they're using Jabba's palace. Fucking genius move.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And for anyone who's confused, because I was at first, because I wasn't paying attention the first time I watched it, it's Mos Espa, not Mos Eisley.
Yes.
We hear Mos Eisley in the movies.
Yeah.
It's Mos Espa, not Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley is a completely different area.
Yeah.
Of Tatooine.
I get the confusion. Like I do. So at first, he's becoming the new crime lord daimyo of Mos Espa.
Yeah.
Remember that the previous one was a hut.
A giant fat slug.
Basically, yes. Actually, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
He's disgusting. He grosses me out so bad.
That got killed by fucking Leia. Yeah.
Just a reminder.
And basically, he's trying to consolidate his power as the new daimyo crime boss. But no one's really having it because he doesn't act like a crime boss. He's not being carried around in a litter. He's not, he's not demanding mountains of tribute from everybody. They're all a little bit confused by him, but they're like, wait, this isn't how crime bosses are supposed to act. Like
he's like, no, because I'm actually going to show you fucking respect.
Yeah, he's like, he's
as long as you respect me.
Yeah, he's like, look, we're
even.
one of two ways. We're going to trust my way, and then if you don't like it, I'm going to introduce you to my blaster's way of doing things, which tends to be a little more, explodey. So let's start
a little more exploding.
Let's start with my way first, and then Fennec Shand is standing behind him the whole time, going, "Can I please shoot it? Let me shoot it."
I think that's one of my favorite parts about Fennec Shand is like the whole time she just has her gun and she's just like, now?
Yeah.
Now? Are we doing no?
She's just so annoyed by everyone around her. She's like, can I please shoot him?
And it's so great because like the whole time Boba's literally going, no. And she's just like, but I can shoot it. We can end this. And I'm just like, if I just kill it. And he's like, you don't need to kill everything.
Gun works fine. I could show you.
He's
Come
like,
on.
you don't need to kill everything. She's like, okay, consider letting me do that.
Yeah. Like, what if?
But what if?
Hear me out. I do shoot it.
What if?
Just saying.
I don't know. Consider I shoot it in the face. Absolutely the fuck not.
Wonderful. Such a great character.
But wait. But hear me out.
New plan. Hold on.
Counter offer. I shoot him in the leg. Don't shoot anyone. But consider. Oh my God.
I also have knives. I know she didn't mention any stabbing.
So no shooting. Okay. What about No. Stop trying to hurt people. But it's fine.
Yeah, she's so annoyed by it. It's like everything would be fine if you would just let
me
shoot
kill it.
things.
Let me kill it. Just let me kill it. No.
So he's trying to establish control.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, and I do kind of love this, he gets his 2 Gamorreans, who, yes, they are the green-skinned pig people, but this show shows them as loyal bodyguards.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll be honest, if a fairly large, muscular, green-skinned pig person came running at me with a big-ass axe, I'd be inclined to do what he wanted me to do. Like,
what? Why?
Like, oh, you don't want me to be where I'm... Oh, no, deal. I'm out. Cool.
Done.
Same page, 100%. I do love the mercy as a utility, Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
This is not mercy because, he thinks mercy is the right thing to do. This is him being merciful because it serves a purpose. That purpose becomes very obvious when he recruits the cyborgs who are stealing water from Stephen Root, which is great.
I love Stephen Root.
The casting in this show, in all of these Filoni shows, is amazing because he popped up and was like, "That's Stephen Root."
It's so good.
What? That's Steve. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Like,
no, that's
Rip Torn.
That's
He's also
Rip Torn.
in that movie. So
he is in that movie, yes, but
I believe you have my stapler.
That's Office Space.
Yes, it is.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I used to watch that movie. I'm not even kidding. I used to watch that movie like once a week.
I love Stephen Root.
So good.
He's so great.
And he was a voice on King of the Hill.
Yes, he was.
And he was hilarious.
He's hilarious in everything he does.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I believe you have my stapler is like the most famous movie line of all time.
I could burn down the building.
What was that? Nothing.
It's so
but
good.
Stephen Root. I was like, look, it's fucking Stephen Root.
He's so funny.
So he's at this. So when we get to the first big plot turn, he's recruited the Gamorreans. He's recruited the cyborgs, and the Hutts show up. The other 2 Hutts.
Yes.
These are Jabba's, I think, his cousins.
Yeah. Cousins.
And they're like, hey, so this was Jabba's territory. Jabba is, worm food. So we are going to take his territory. And Boba Fett's like, the fuck you are. He's like, so I have this armor and this gun that says no. And then we meet the Hutt's enforcer. At first, he doesn't really say anything, but, giant black fur Wookiee. Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, yes.
I almost called him Chrysanthemum.
You did it.
Which I'm going to at some point, just
That's
without
fine.
thinking. I know I am.
That's okay. He's not real. He can't hurt you.
Sure about that? Because I know someone that size. Like,
oh, nice.
he's a very, very, very large and terrifying man.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk the first time we meet Chrysanthemum at all. He just kind of like stands there and like glares at Boba Fett
because he's being intimidating. He's a giant ass Wookiee bounty hunter.
Yeah, he's. Let's be fair. We all liked Chewbacca when we first met him in the movie because he's obviously a good guy and Han Solo's friend.
Yes.
So we're all like, oh look, big Sasquatch is good guy. This one does not look. No. Immediately, you're like, okay, he's scary.
Yeah,
like,
he looks mean.
Yeah,
like
he looks mad.
I love it. I love Chrysanthemum. I think he's wonderful, and I just love that we actually got to see a Wookiee rip off the arms of somebody.
Yeah, because they've been saying it for years.
Yeah, they're like, I've seen a Wookiee rip a man's arms off, and
well,
I'm just
now
like,
we all have to.
cool, now I've seen it. Like, my partner and I fucking celebrated. We were like, that was the coolest thing ever.
It was fucking awesome.
It was dope as fuck. Chrysanthemum is so cool. He's so cool. And if you saw him show up on Book of Boba Fett and you didn't really know who he was, his first introduction was in comic books.
Yeah.
In the Star Wars comic books. So he is a very well-known character amongst people who are familiar with the extended universe. But honestly, he is a dope-ass fucking Wookiee.
They really... What they needed him to do for Book of Boba Fett,
was perfect.
They introduced perfectly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it was perfect.
Because the Hutts send him to kill Boba Fett.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Boba Fett's in his back to tank asleep.
Yeah.
Well, resting his back to tank because, Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Bad things. All of a sudden, the lid flies open and Chrysanthemum just fucking throws him across the room because, Wookiees are rather large.
A little bit.
This fight, obviously... is not going well for Boba Fett. He doesn't have his armor. Mm-hmm. He's just woken up. I don't know about you guys, but
I don't know what's happening.
30 seconds after I've woken up, I'm not functional as a human being yet.
Yeah, I don't know what year it is most of the time.
When my alarm went off this morning, so as a trick, I put my alarm on the far side of the room, so I have to get out of bed.
So you have to get up.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And I put it on table where the TV in my bedroom is. Mm-hmm. I got out of bed to turn off my alarm, and the first thing I did was try to turn off the TV.
Oh, buddy.
And I kept pushing the power button, like, why won't fucking noise stop? And then my brain went, okay, we're
up.
I'm here. And I went, oh, fuck.
I am a person.
I've just turned the TV on and off 6 times. It's not that. Got it. Cool. But when I first wake up, I'm basically useless for 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Because my brain is not caught up with me yet. And Boba Fett's kind of confused at first. He's getting tossed around his bedroom by what looks to be, the rug that woke up and is now trying to kill him. Until the cyborgs come running in. I love the cyborgs. They are... Okay, first of all, this is very... If it wasn't intentional, it was an accidental nod to George Lucas doing American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Because they are very much that, 50s, car punks from the 50s.
Yeah.
They very much are that. And I really hope it was intentional. It has to be. I can't imagine them stumbling into that by accident. Mm-hmm. And as a nod to American Graffiti, which if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a hilarious movie.
Oh yeah, it's great. It was George Lucas's first.
Yeah.
Yep. 70
with American Zoetrope.
6?
Yeah. It's
sounds right.
That does sound about right. It's early 70s.
73.
73. Yeah.
73. My bad. I thought it was later in the 70s.
But that's definitely the little cinematic nod to hey, this is the guy who made Star Wars Universe.
Also made this movie.
We're gonna tip.
We're gonna give him a little
tip the hat.
Dave Filoni just tipped his little cowboy hat.
Yeah. See, now I just pictured Dave Filoni dressed as Woody from Toy Story, tipping his little cowboy hat.
Thanks, there, partner. There's a snake in my boot. There's a sarlacc in my boot.
Oh God, this is
only my second cup of coffee.
This is actually why I insist we record the podcast at noon, so we're both 70% awake.
Yeah. And things just get silly.
Yeah, we're fun that way.
Yeah, we're about to start doing this virtually, so this should be fun because we're gonna find random times during the week to record, and most of them will probably be after I'm working, where I will be loopy as fuck because I'll be like, I'm fucking over it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. We're gonna get some weird ones out of this. It's gonna be fun.
Can't wait.
So, Chrysanthemum attacks Boba Fett. The cyborgs show up.
Yep.
Boba Fett clearly does not die, otherwise this season would have been, or the show would have been very weird.
Super short.
Yeah. It ended in episode 4? Huh?
I don't know what happened.
I'm confused.
I think what I liked about that part is like they do a lot of damage to Chrysanthemum. Like they hurt him. And Boba
badly,
instead of going throw him in the brig, like he goes.
They do toss him in the old Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Or in the old Rancor pit.
Rancor pit.
Now, there is no Rancor in there.
Correct. But
they used that earlier to threaten an assassin.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know there isn't a Rancor because he won't talk, and Fennec Shand's like, oh well, he'll maybe he fears the Rancor and drops him in the pit.
Right.
It's empty. He doesn't know that. He immediately starts blubbering like a child.
Right.
And she's like, there's no Rancor down there, you jackass.
Yeah. But like it's interesting because Boba Fett like doesn't immediately go, we're gonna fucking kill him. He's like, no, he can be useful. So we're gonna.
Again, mercy with utility. Like
yeah. And, the other Hutts come back and they're just like, hey, sorry about that.
Yeah. So
here's a Rancor, though.
We got you a Rancor, and also we brought you Danny Trejo to help you train it.
Look, if anyone deserves to be in the Star Wars universe,
it's fucking Danny Trejo.
It's Danny Trejo.
Also, and you said this earlier, but like everyone who saw Danny Trejo on screen as the Rancor trainer went, yeah, that fucking tracks.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like
he popped up and I went, yeah, no, that checks out. He would totally be a Rancor trainer.
Yeah. Literally nothing about it. I was like, oh, it's Danny Trejo.
He was
That's
so
cool.
good with the Rancor.
He was.
He was so good with the Rancor.
Because the Rancor is basically just like a big ass puppy.
It is. It is just a big scaly puppy.
Yeah, like
I love Rancor. I think they're very cute.
And it bonds with
Boba. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's very sweet.
Like, look, I got a puppy.
Yeah, I think Rancors are very cute. Like, you remember seeing like the baby Rancor?
Yeah.
Was it in Clone Wars?
I think it was.
I think it was Clone Wars. There's an episode with like an actual baby Rancor, and it is the cutest fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want one. Why do I want a Rancor?
Like, that sounds like an awful idea, but I really want to cuddle it.
Well, I mean, like, it's also a terrible idea to have a lion, and yet I still want to cuddle one. Do you really think that, like, given the opportunity, I wouldn't say yes to cuddling with a lion?
There's a there's a series of YouTube shorts that a friend of mine keeps sending me, and they're called stupid/understandable ways to die. And one of them is just a big ass lion laying on its back and like purring and rolling around, and then the caption pops up, killed by murder kitty. And like,
look, if that's how I go,
yeah,
it would have been worth it.
Yeah. Tried to cuddle the murder kitten. Yeah, okay.
I mean, look at them murder mittens.
Like,
look at them murder mittens.
I would be embarrassed that that's how I died, but I wouldn't be surprised by it.
No, if I got the notification from anyone that you died
trying to cuddle
a lion,
an apex predator,
I'd be like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that checks out for him.
I
get it.
Thankfully, I don't have easy access to, large apex predators. There's a zoo near here, but I'm too lazy to break into a zoo. So
yeah, that's fair.
Sounds like a lot of effort.
Excuse me.
Nice one.
It was bad.
5. That was a 5.
It was pretty lame.
So
wait till I have my burrito.
Yeah. So Chrysanthemum shows up, gets tossed in the Sarlacc pit. The Hutts show up. Hey, so sorry about the whole trying to kill you thing.
Here's a Rancor. Here's another predator.
And of course, Boba Fett's like, well, I mean, thanks.
Thank you.
What do I feed it? And they're like, whatever the fuck you want. Like, this up to this point, Boba Fett's basically building his army. He now has the Gamorreans. He has the cyborgs. Mm-hmm. This is how he gets his hands on Chrysanthemum.
But all of that is because of the Pikes. The Pike Syndicate, which has been on Tatooine doing their spice trade.
Spice, basically space heroin.
Yeah, it's drugs.
Yeah.
And the Pikes are fucking assholes.
They really are.
They're such dicks. But can I tell you that I was so fucking excited to see live action Pikes?
Yeah, so was I.
I was so fucking excited because that's a really complicated style of alien.
Yeah.
You know? And they did it so well.
They nailed it.
I was so fucking happy.
This has been consistent throughout all of the like Filoniverse shows. The set design, costume design, makeup design has been immaculate without exception.
The only one that I will say was wrong was the Grand Inquisitor in Kenobi because he was from Utapau, and the Utapauans do not look like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back and watch episode 3, you'll see what they look like. They have very long heads, and their teeth are fucked.
Regardless, so he was supposed to be from Utapau. They made him some sort of weird human-looking thing, but even then, it still looked amazing.
It looked great. I'm not saying it didn't look great, but considering he was from Utapau, it makes it less so with honestly, their makeup design.
But that's the one sort of kind of miss.
Yeah, that's the only one that I was like,
literally everything else has been damn near perfect.
Yeah. It was just a little disappointing because we know that they can make the Utapau, people look that way.
Yeah.
So.
But seeing the Pikes in person,
it was so cool.
Like,
it was so cool. I was very excited about it.
That was fucking cool. And we saw them first when Boba Fett and the Tuskens hit the train.
Yeah, so we initially see them in the first few flashbacks because the Tuskens take Boba Fett. They kind of make him a little slave in a way. At first. And then when he saves one of the Tusken children, that's when they go, "Oh,
you're useful.
Actually, we might keep you for different reasons." And they do. They teach him how to fight.
Yep.
They let him make his own staff,
which he then uses to, fucking annihilate a bunch of stormtroopers.
Beautiful.
Which is amazing.
And when he finds out that the Tuskens are essentially they're basically being bullied by the Pike Syndicate.
Well, so the Pikes have this big ass train that goes through the Dune Sea.
Yeah.
And every time the Pikes on the train see Tuskens, they shoot at them.
Yeah. Which, like, are they shooting at you first? Because if not, what are you doing?
We see it in the scene. No, they're not.
No, like, they're just fucking living their lives.
And Boba being
Boba.
Yeah. Is like, hey, so like, give me a gaffy stick and a rifle, and I'm gonna go get some speeder bikes, and we can take out the train.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes out the gang of idiots who are somehow like killing everyone in a bar, which is a sad scene because you got the couple, and then the dude gets killed, and you're like, oh, buddy.
I know, that was sad.
And then Boba walks in and just kills everyone.
Yeah.
Very, very easily, by the way. Like, it is Boba Fett.
It is Boba Fett. I mean, he does come directly from Jango, who was a hell of a bounty hunter.
Well, also, Boba Fett's combat style is not what you would call subtle. It's more like, hey, so I'm gonna hit you repeatedly with everything I have.
Yeah, it's just brute strength.
Yeah, and just by the sheer force of me wanting it to happen, you're gonna die. So
just because I said so.
So they hit the train, which is a great scene. Also,
it's because it's so reminiscent of westerns.
Yeah, and this whole thing is a space western.
Yeah, it is, and I just loved that. Like they really like leaned into the western.
Speeder bikes are horses. They're jumping on the train.
Yeah,
like
like it's so great, and like as opposed to other like train western things that we've seen, where it's the bad guy getting the train, stealing everything. It's literally good guys hopping on the train and going, "Fuck you and your spice."
Yeah, and this is.
It's great. It's so well done.
And I love that so well done. They didn't change the classic Western trope at all. They just ran with it.
Yeah, I love it.
Because they realized they were making a space Western.
Yeah.
Like, they 100% knew that.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Rodriguez did a lot of the show, and Robert Rodriguez is essentially a modern cowboy.
Yeah, basically.
I don't like all of his movies, and I don't like that he's friends with Quentin Tarantino, but that's a whole other
discussion. Yeah. So at this point, Boba he started to solidify power. Mm-hmm. He started to build his army. And then, I gotta admit, the 5th season of Book of Boba Fett, I turned on and I sat down and I had...
5th episode, you mean? You said 5th season.
I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work. It's fine. 5th episode, I sat down and I had some popcorn because I enjoy popcorn. And I turned it on. And for a moment, I went...
I thought I was watching Book of Boba Fett.
Did they forget what show they were making for him?
No, they did not.
They absolutely did not.
No, it was necessary. And Chapter 5 was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, it was. And it's honestly a great... It's an incredible episode.
She is getting so good.
She really is.
With directing.
She really is.
She obviously got her dad's chops for that.
Yeah.
But she has a great eye. Her camera angles are gorgeous. Like, everything she does is just really, really... I'm very impressed with her.
This is when this scene opens, it's a bunch of like alien workers in like what looks like a meat packing factory. And I'm like,
look like a meat packing factory.
And I'm like, where the fuck is this on Tatooine? And then Din Djarin walks in. I'm like, hold up. I paused it to check the title. I was like
make sure. Like, I'm watching Book of Boba Fett.
Okay,
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I literally was just like, oh, it's my boyfriend. Look, my boyfriend's here.
And I was like, okay, so you know what? Din Djarin's a Mandalorian. Boba Fett wears Mandalorian armor. Okay. They've met before. We've seen them meet before. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Then Din Djarin proves that apparently the Darksaber weighs 75,000 pounds.
Yeah. So because it was created by a Mandalorian Jedi, which is not common.
Yeah.
It's used differently than other lightsabers.
And Din Djarin has no idea how to fight with it.
No, because you have to connect with the weapon. And if you're not able to connect with the weapon, you're not going to be able to wield it properly.
Which he proves by, damn near slicing his leg off.
Yeah. And he, finds the armorer. He finds Paz Vizsla. Fucking Vizslas. Sorry. House Vizsla just fucking drives me nuts.
House Vizsla, very often you're like, well, because he does have his redemption moments.
He does. No,
and you're like, hey,
sure.
he's cool. But then you're like, all of House Vizsla, you're like, oh, House Vizsla.
Because it's so hit or miss with Vizslas.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
Yeah.
So that's why. And Paz Vizsla it ends up being fine. And by the way, that is Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Playing Paz Vizsla.
Because of course it is.
Because of course it is. He's like, how do I get into my own show? I know. I'll play a character because that's what he does.
I'll play a character in a helmet whose face you never see.
Yeah, and honestly, Jon Favreau can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't give a shit.
I'm fine with it.
He's incredible. So I absolutely adore him. He can do whatever.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it.
He's put himself in his own shit for years. This is not new.
Yeah.
But they are some of the only survivors left from that initial Mandalorian hideout that they had. They inspect the Darksaber, and the armor basically is just like, you will become the ruler of Mandalore, which is not really much of a planet anymore.
Cool.
So that's great. Congrats.
You get to rule the charred ember that was Mandalore.
Right.
Congrats.
Yeah. But also, she basically is like, you need to connect with this thing. Otherwise, it's not going to work. That's why you're not able to wield it properly.
Well, then
Vizsla
challenges him for it.
Yes. Which he loses.
He does. But the armorer then does the usual thing.
Yeah. The main reason that Paz Vizsla, tries to challenge him and then loses miserably is because the Darksaber comes from one of his descendants. So, he is descendant of
Tar Vizsla.
Who was the Mandalorian Jedi. So he basically is like, I deserve that because it's part of my house. And
Din
basically goes, okay.
No.
How about no, heart.
So happy no.
Yeah. Exactly. Lol, no, heart. That's what my friends and I do whenever we're just like, we're joking around with each other and I'm like, hey, maybe stop. And they're just like, lol, no, heart. Like, that's how we text each other. It's just fun.
So you're basically 12-year-old girls. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is a group chat with a bunch of other girls. I'm the only NB, so.
No, that's fair.
So.
To this day, a friend of mine literally texts me fart jokes once a day.
That's fantastic.
Like,
farts are funny.
Yeah, farts are hilarious.
Yeah.
But this
like, I don't care who you are or how old you are. Farts are funny.
Once a day. It's been going on for over a year.
That's amazing. I love that.
I love that he keeps coming up with the new fart jokes.
I know.
It's
that's incredible.
Impressive.
So the armorer then asks, have you removed your helmet in front of others? And
Din Djarin has to say yes.
Yes, I have. And she's like, cool, you're no longer a Mandalorian, which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. But whatever. But that's their creed. That's their creed. It's fine. But there is a way for him to fix it.
And we don't actually find that out in that moment.
Correct.
So he leaves.
Yeah, he's like, cool, I'm going to go fuck off now.
Then we get probably one of my favorite comedic scenes. He shows up to the transport, because remember, the Razor Crest's been destroyed.
Yes.
He shows up to the transport because he's going back to Tatooine. And the droid makes him give up his weapons. It's like a 90-second sequence of him. So many weapons.
Funny. It is so funny. Because he's just like, here's that, here's that, here's that, here's that. And I'm like, bro, do you literally like have explosives on you too? Like, what the fuck?
He's a walking gun.
Yeah, like he has 2 blasters, the dark saber, and a couple of charges. And I'm like,
bunch of knives.
Yeah, knives. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So he gets.
Who do you think you're gonna kill?
He gets to Tatooine, and I do love the him sitting on the on the transport, being like, "This is a stupid way to fly." Oh,
this is dumb. I hate it. I want my weapons.
And he gets to Tatooine, and we get back to Amy Sedaris, who is
Pelimato, yeah,
my favorite character in this new Filoniverse. One, I love Amy Sedaris, but also her character's hilarious.
Oh yeah, she's very funny.
Now what I did love in this scene, so this is where he gets his new ship.
Yep.
But this is the Filoniverse's nod to the Jedi Survivor video games.
Yes.
Because we see the little BD-1 droid.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And everyone has their opinions on the droids in Star Wars. Clearly, R2 the Astromech is the original G, knew everything about Anakin, everything about the galaxy.
And never said a fucking word.
Say a fucking word.
He's no narc.
But my favorite companion droid in all of Star Wars is BD-1. Because, first of all, he rides on Cal's back the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's incredibly useful.
He is.
And he's fucking adorable.
So cute. He's so cute.
He's so adorable.
Yeah.
And you see the little BD-1, you're like, thank you, guys. Fucking thank you.
Yeah.
Which, of course, begs the question in my mind. Hey, so Dave Filoni, this is for you. Assuming you are ever going to listen. Which...
Are you kidding? He's listening.
Not to.
He's waiting for us to.
Of course he is.
He's waiting for us to like really set up that Patreon.
Yeah.
So that he can be the highest one.
Yeah.
Like, highest tier.
Yeah. There's another. If you're acknowledging BD-1 as canon, which you create canon, and you now have. Yeah. Does that mean Cal Kestis is also a character you're going to play with?
I really hope so.
Because there's already an actor for it.
Yeah.
And Cameron Monaghan is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Performer. He's great. He's a great actor.
So, just saying.
I hope so. I would like to see that.
I'd love to see that.
Very cool. I think that would be very cool.
If you want to go back in time a little bit before the before the end of the Jedi Survivor game, you get Tony Amendola as a Jedi, which is fucking awesome because that guy's amazing,
right?
And oh god, who's the actress that played Seer? And I have to Google it now. In Deborah Wilson. Yeah, we have 3 more Jedi. If you're establishing BD-1 as canon, we have 3 more Jedi for you to play with, depending on where in the universe the Jedi Survivor game is set, which I'm not 100% certain because it really has it's like an insulated storyline. So, But you acknowledge BD1.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the other Jedi. Just saying.
Just do it.
Also, in Jedi Survivor, we get a Jedi who uses a blaster. That's got a lot of story potential.
Yeah.
That's just fun.
I mean, so uncivilized.
But it
it
it gives you a fantastic excuse to do a Harrison Ford Indiana Jones moment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
When like he gets like threatened by someone, he's like, oh God, just shoots him real quick.
Right. That's true. Yeah. That is true.
Because it's there.
Yeah.
But so the Mandalorian goes to Tatooine. Amy Sedaris is there, and he's like, I need a new ship. And of course she goes, well, I happen to have one.
Mm-hmm.
And shows him an old
N1 Starfighter.
N1 Starfighter from Naboo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, hold up.
Nubian.
I said a ship.
This is a starfighter.
This could be a starfighter. It's currently garbage.
It's currently made of trash.
Yeah. So could we please try again? I need something that can fly. And of course she's like, no. I'm an expert. This will fucking fly.
They do work on it together, which I think is a very cute little montage.
Yep. The BD1 is like showing her projecting diagrams and shit for him. I'm like, fucking love BD1.
Yeah. So they modify it not only to make it like a proper starfighter, but like they
make it faster.
They make it faster.
And
they install
a little bubble canopy in the back where the droid used to go.
Yeah, they install.
And you're like, hey,
a better
foreshadowing.
Yep. They install a better hyperdrive.
Which is this the scene where she basically says the Jawas stole apart from the bottom of a bike ship?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It's just like, you literally took this from me.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But yeah, it's very cool. They really make it look nice. It's very shiny.
Mm-hmm. Takes it up for his test flight, and then Captain Carson is up there, of course.
Yep.
And basically tries to give him a speeding ticket.
Yes.
Until he's like, and of course Carson's like, your voice sounds pretty familiar. You wouldn't happen to, wear a helmet, used to fly Razor Crest. Just saying. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope.
Okay.
I love that. Like, I like how Carson basically is like, no, we have an understanding now.
Yeah.
And he just lets Din go.
Yeah. Because
all the time, because he's like, no, we have an understanding.
Carson has so this is what I love about Carson as a character. He shows up more in Ahsoka, but Carson trusts his gut more than anything else. Din's not a threat. He's not going to hurt anybody. But every now and then, Carson kind of has to step up and go, there are rules. Just a reminder. But he knows if he ever needed him, Din Djarin would show up to help.
Yeah,
of
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so their understanding is one based on, honestly, mutual respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Din Djarin respects him too.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I do love that scene.
And then, of course, Din Djarin's like, well, my ship's supposed to be fast, right? And then fucking peels out. Before that, though, we get, I know I've talked shit about the pod racing scene in episode 1, and I will not stop.
No one should stop.
Yeah.
Because it's too long.
But we do get to see Din Djarin flying the canyon.
Yeah.
Which is fucking cool.
It's a very nice little moment for those of us who are like, oh.
Yeah. You're like, oh, look at that.
Nice little reminisce.
I've seen that. Yeah. That's cool.
It's very cute.
And so Din Djarin now has his new ship. It has the Grogu-sized bubble in the back.
Just in case.
Foreshadowing is fun.
Just in case. And he comes back. And Fennec asks him to help Boba Fett.
It's one of my favorite moments.
And he's like, cool, yes, but I got to go do a thing first.
So Amy Sedaris is there, and she's like, hey, this person came looking for you, and I told her you weren't here, and then I locked all the doors. Then you hear a voice from above them go, your locks are garbage. It's just Fennec Shand sitting up there.
Just like, good job. And she's like, fuck.
First of all, casting Amy Sedaris as the mechanic.
She's just great.
Moment of pure genius.
Yeah, she's just wonderful. I love her.
So Din's like, yeah, no. Okay. Boba can have my help. I have an errand to run. So
I gotta go do a thing.
I need to go to the store real quick. So just, chill. Be back in a minute. Din flies off to the planet where Luke's training facility is going to be. Now, at this point, it's not a training facility. It's
they're building it.
Yeah, it
currently
will be
under construction.
Yeah, currently under development.
Please mind our mess.
Yeah. He lands, walks up to the construction. This big spider droid's building everything. R2 leads him over there, and then R2, being basically the sassiest fuck in the entire Star Wars universe, just goes, "Hey, cool, we're here," and then R2 just shuts himself off. It's like, "Nope," and done.
Goodbye. You're like, what the fuck?
and Din's like, what the fuck do I do? Well, God damn it.
Yeah, but he wants to see Grogu.
Yeah,
and Ahsoka is like, if he does see you, it's going to hinder.
Yeah, so Ahsoka's
his
there.
Training.
Yeah,
which is fair.
Yeah,
honestly.
But Ahsoka makes Din's like, "Hey, look, I want to see him.
I have a thing for him.
I had this Grogu size Beskar shirt made for him.
It's so cute."
And he's like,
"It's the cutest thing I've ever seen."
And
so tiny.
And then we get these very long sequences with Luke training Grogu, which is, I think this is the first time we get Grogu's flashback.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's a very quick little.
It is, but it's
moment,
Luke helping Grogu remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have to realize, like, man, he's older than you'd think. Like,
he's like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love that.
But that race ages very differently.
Yeah. I do love that while they're walking through the forest, Grogu's got tiny little legs, so Luke just keeps picking him up with the Force and like putting him in front of him, and then picking him up.
It's so fucking cute because like Grogu is just like, "I got little legs, wait for me."
But then he learns how to jump, and he's like flipping all over the place.
It's so cute. Oh my god, I love it so much. But Luke does tell him, you need to make a choice.
Here's your tiny little lightsaber.
Here's Yoda's old lightsaber, which I do want to know how Luke got it. Because the last time we see it is in episode 3.
And it's being dropped.
Yeah. We don't know how he got it. So I'm curious about that.
Yeah. It could have been another one Yoda had that he got from Yoda's house in the swamp. Maybe.
Or there's also the possibility that the Emperor found it, took it, gave it to Vader to keep in his trunk of many things in his palace on Mustafar.
Yeah.
Because he also had Obi-Wan's.
Yeah. Luke does give him the choice. Ahsoka has to explain to Din, like, "Hey, look, he's super attached to you.
Yeah.
And if he's gonna have an honest shot at this training, he needs the space."
Yeah.
In this episode, we don't see what his choice is.
Correct.
We're also leaving out a big part of this episode. This episode starts in an interesting way.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to Freetown.
Mos Pelgo.
Yeah.
Formerly Mos Pelgo.
Yeah. Cobb Vanth is there. Now, remember, he doesn't have his armor anymore because it was Boba's armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then... Okay, Lil hates this guy. I'm aware. Look. Cad Bane shows up.
He's
and yes,
boring. He's so lame.
I was hoping. So, yes, Cad Bane we met him in Clone Wars originally. He's in a bunch of episodes that are really kind of garbage.
Worst fucking bounty hunter.
First of all, this Cad Bane looked incredible.
No, I'm
visually perfect.
Yeah, live action, he looked amazing. They did a beautiful job.
This version of him is a little bit darker, a little more like the Western gunslinger.
Yeah.
I liked this version better.
Yeah.
And we do get the Western.
Woo!
Yeah, because they're having a fucking gunfight on the
it's great
on the street.
Yeah. It's great.
And unfortunately, Cobb Vanth is not as quick as Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant is now dead in the show.
R.I.P.
Wah, wah.
Cobb Vanth. We love him.
But Cad Bane has been hired by the Pikes.
Mm-hmm.
This is, first of all, love the tie-in. Very much enjoy the tie-in. I enjoy the slightly darker, more Western gunslinger version of Cad Bane instead of the very overly talkative jackass that he was in Clone Wars.
So fucking annoying.
And you're starting to see this is like the official battle lines drawn. The Pikes want that territory. Boba Fett's not going to give up that territory. There's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
Next episode starts. So Din Djarin goes back to, help Boba Fett.
Yes. One cute little thing that I loved in that episode, though, is when Ahsoka and Luke are talking, and he says something that is very Anakin.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka just looks at him and goes, "So much like your father." And I wept uncontrollably because I was like, he kind of is like his dad, though.
Just, less homicidal.
Less murdery.
Less homicidal. He's less stabby. It's fine.
Yeah. But I just loved that moment of the two of them connecting. Because at that point, you can tell that they have known each other for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, I think...
I have a lot of headcanons with that. So.
Yeah. I have heard a lot of fan theories about Luke and Ahsoka meeting, becoming friends. Like, they're like how their relationship started, how they met. Some of them are utterly ridiculous. Some of them are fans trying to ship Luke and Ahsoka, which is
no. First
garbage.
of all, he's a child.
And fucking stop that.
Stop. I have my own headcanons. I think they met during the rebellion.
I think
it was very brief.
I think that Luke knew about Ahsoka during the rebellion, but didn't have time to meet her because he was doing a lot of other shit. Once the war ended, he made a point, or one of them made a point to find the other.
Yeah, exactly. I think Ahsoka tried to find Luke personally.
Well, because that would make sense. Yeah. He's Anakin's kid.
But not just that. Like, I think that she felt Anakin's change back.
Yeah.
But wanted to make sure and knew that the only person who would know is Luke.
Yeah.
And I think Ahsoka and Mara Jade are the only two people who know exactly what happened on the Death Star.
Because as far as the rest of the galaxy in Star Wars is concerned, Luke went on to the Death Star. And then Luke left the Death Star. And then the Death Star exploded.
He walked in, and suddenly he was the only one.
Yeah. He walked into to a Death Star full of the Emperor, Darth Vader, and many stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And when the dust settled, there was no more Death Star, no more Emperor, no more Vader, and no more stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And yet he's standing there. Yeah. And the whole galaxy went,
cool.
What the fuck? Yeah, I do think at some point one of them made a point to find the other.
Yeah. Yeah. But I loved that little moment between the two of them in that episode because it was very sweet. And of course, that episode was directed by Dave Filoni because he's the only one who can get Ahsoka right. As far as I'm concerned.
That's fair. There were several directors during the Ahsoka series who did a great job with her.
Oh, yeah. But he also as far as wrote pretty much the entire
writing
series,
and character, developing the character of Ahsoka, I think Dave Filoni's the only one who could do that right.
Well, because he made her with George.
Yeah.
So, and of course, George was part of the Ahsoka series, in his own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Exactly.
Bob's your uncle kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. But it was great. It was so good.
So now that Din leaves the planet, is back to Tatooine. He's agreed to help Boba. He's gonna help Boba. And then a little package shows up. And this is R2. And you're like, oh look, it's R2. And it's Grogu.
Inside R2.
And he's wearing the little shirt.
I know he's wearing his. I have theories. Because we didn't see him make the choice. It's implied that he obviously chose Din. However,
given how long the species or that species lives, I think his choice was more I need to see more of this through.
Yeah.
Before I can commit to
training.
To Jedi training.
But not just that. I think that was the moment that Luke realized how important the connections and attachments are, and having a choice.
Because previously the Jedi took
They literally stole children.
From a very young age.
Yeah, they literally stole babies.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think in this moment Luke realized that attachment is fine as long as
it's the problem is not the attachment. The problem is the fear of losing that attachment.
Yes.
And Luke does a very good job later on that, we know in the extended universe that he trains people and is like, I encourage attachment. I encourage you to find love. I encourage you to have a family.
Which Luke does.
Yeah.
He marries Mara Jade.
And has a
which
child.
Fucking good for him.
Yeah, and has Ben Skywalker.
Yeah.
The actual Ben.
So
Ben.
Real canon. Luke's kid is Ben Skywalker.
Yes.
Han and Leia have Jason and Jaina, the Jedi twins.
Correct.
I don't give
and then later they have Anakin.
Fuck what you saw in episodes 7, 8, and 9.
No,
that is not canon.
No.
That is fucking name shall not be said, having a fucking fever dream and forgetting that we already had this canon, and I need to stop before my blood pressure goes up any higher.
Anyway, what I was going to say was, Luke eventually does encourage all of that. He's like, I want you to have attachments. I want you to find love. I want you to have families. You just need to learn how to not be afraid to lose those things.
Yep.
Because I think it's very normal to feel afraid to lose someone that you care about. However, understanding that, you cannot stop those things from happening is incredibly important. And Luke does a very good job later on teaching that to his students. And I think that it was this moment that he kind of went, okay, I need to figure out how to encourage the attachment and make sure that people step away from the fear of losing those people. So I think this was kind of like the catalyst of that and why he needed to change the Jedi Order, because the original Jedi Order was such trash.
Yeah.
It was garbage. We all know it's garbage.
There's a comic that someone made, and it's old Grogu talking to a Padawan.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And the Padawan, old Grogu has one of the Mandalorian's pauldrons on his shoulder.
Yeah, I know.
Very
sweet.
And the Padawan's like, Master Grogu, I thought the Jedi weren't supposed to form attachments. And Grogu's like, no. Attachments don't lead to the dark side. Fear of losing them does. And of course, the Padawan's confused. He goes, I don't understand. You can be attached to something but not be afraid to lose it. And Grogu goes, treasure those around you while you can and rejoice when they return to the Force. Death is a natural part of life. Once you accept that, the dark side can never take you.
It's true.
And the Padawan's like, so I have to live knowing that life and death are inseparable. That sounds impossible. And there's a little, moment, and Grogu just touches the pauldron and just goes, no, Padawan, it is the way. I was like, that's fucking great. That's so good. Whoever made that is a genius.
I love it so much.
And he's absolutely correct. And this is Luke's new Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Instead of being taken and made to be a Jedi, Grogu's given a choice.
Yep.
Instead of being told that attachments lead to nothing but the dark side, Luke is realizing that attachments aren't the problem.
Yeah.
Attachments are actually a good thing. You just have to have the wisdom to know that eventually attachments will end and be okay with that. And so Luke gives Grogu the choice. And I'm pretty sure Grogu said, hey, look, I want to be a Jedi. Definitely going to be a Jedi, 100%. I have to do this first.
Yeah.
This is not a chapter in my life that I'm done with.
Yeah.
I have to do this first.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And then we get to... So Grogu shows up, and of course Din's like, fucking Grogu, what? Okay. I knew I had her put the bubble on my ship for a reason. Fuck yeah. So now it's Boba, Fennec Shan, and the cyborgs, and Chrysanthemum. That's when I had to stop myself and actually look at his name that I've written down right here. I almost said Chrysanthemum. And Din Djarin, and now Grogu. R2 goes back to Luke. He's like, okay, drop him off.
I'm gonna go see my dad now.
Yeah. He's like, I did my thing. I've fought my war and done my thing.
I'm over it.
I'm fucking out.
I'm tired.
Which, honest to God, if if there's any character in the Star Wars universe that gets to look at everything and go, I don't want to do that, I'm out. It's fucking R2. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like, first time we meet R2, he's on a Naboo cruiser being shot at by the Trade Federation, and he has to go out on the hull to fix a shield generator and watch all his friends get picked off one by one.
Yeah. Like, it's one of my favorite things.
He just looks.
That little droid did it.
He just looks back at the ship shooting at him and is like, nah! He goes back to work.
Thank you.
So good.
Thank you. I'm pretty good at stuff.
It's not a long list, but sure, certain things.
You don't have a list.
I have 2 things, which is technically a list. Fuck you. So we have. This is now Boba Fett's army, quote unquote.
Yeah.
The Pikes are coming.
Oh no, the Pikes are coming.
This battle seems like it won't go well. There are a lot of Pikes until Boba Fett goes, oh wait, hold on, I forgot something.
Pause.
I have a Rancor.
A fucking Rancor.
So, that's bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
This fight goes surprisingly well.
Mm-hmm.
Until the Rancor kind of has a moment.
Yeah.
Does his Godzilla thing, climbs a building.
Yep.
Or his King Kong thing, climbs a building.
Kong.
And then Grogu steps up and puts him to sleep.
It's the cutest thing because he's just like
adorable.
Buddy.
He's like
nap time. Nap time. Puts him to sleep, and then Grogu is like, Dad, I'm tired.
Yeah. The whole time.
Then, like, he literally like sits down and is just like, whew, that was a lot.
And the best part about this is so Din, Boba, Fennec Shand, they're all fighting the Pikes.
Yes.
It's a great combat sequence. It's a wonderful sequence. But that ending with Grogu putting the Rancor to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Din's only concern in that moment is Grogu.
Yeah.
He's literally lost interest in the fight. He's just like, nope. Giant monster and tiny no. That's bad. And Grogu's no. Dad, I got this. It's fine. Here, watch. Sleepy time.
Oh, no, we messed up.
Did we mess up?
Vanth isn't dead. Mid-credit scene at the end.
Oh, that's right.
He's put in the Bacta tank.
That's yes, you're absolutely correct.
He's trying to heal him. Fett is trying to heal him.
We don't find out what happens with that, though.
No. We don't know what happens, but Boba Fett does get him.
And puts him in the tank.
Puts him in the tank.
Yeah. So,
to try and heal him. Because he's not dead.
You're absolutely correct.
I mean, it's Star Wars.
Correct.
No one actually dies in Star Wars. For fuck's sake.
I mean...
Except for...
some people do. Like... I mean,
Mace Windu?
Yeah.
No one can tell me otherwise. Mace Windu is dead.
Question.
Answer.
Most tragic clone death in Clone Wars.
Don't do that to me.
Mine is Heavy.
Heavy was sad. Fives.
Yeah.
And
all of Ahsoka's battalion.
I mean, all of that. All of that. I don't know, man. Like, all of them are really sad. Fives really hurt.
See, they do kill people in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. They do. I don't like it.
Heavy was the one that got me. 99 was the other one that really got me.
99 was so fucking painful. I hated that. I hated it so much. I cried just uncontrollably. And Tup was also really sad. That was the one with where they figure out about the chips. So that one was really, really sad.
So, just to prove that they do kill people in Star Wars.
Well, okay, but like they're clones. They're going to kill the clones.
Well, I mean, Fennec Shand kills the Pike boss.
True.
At the end of this episode.
Yeah, but they're the bad guys. They're supposed to die.
She kills him in a... I mean...
Yeah.
it's Fennec Shan. She's not just going to walk up and shoot him. She has to do something a little more spectacular than that.
Of course, yeah. That's who she is as a person.
A little bit acrobatics, a little theatrical flair.
Yeah.
You got to have some, yeah. By the end of the battle, the Pikes are basically toast. The crime lords are dead. Mos Espa's citizens are looking at Boba Fett and they're like, okay, you know what? You seem pretty chill.
You're okay, my guy. Like, you're okay.
You want to be crime boss in Mos Espa? All right. Think you fucking earned it. Boba's like, I goddamn well better have earned it at this point. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, what else do you want me to do?
Right.
Like, I can't blow up the Death Star. 2 of them are gone. I saved your fucking town. Come on. Jesus fucking Christ. As a one-off episode, or as a one-off season, I gotta say, Book of Boba Fett is damn near picture perfect.
I really love it. Yeah.
This is Boba Fett going from inside the Sarlacc pit to successful
crime lord.
Basically, like like benevolent mob boss kind of.
Yeah. I don't even want to call him a crime lord.
Yeah,
like that just feels like gross.
It doesn't feel right for what he's doing.
He's genuinely trying to make Tatooine better.
Yeah. And there are a lot of mob boss examples who are great for who did a lot of work in their communities. Fun random history moment: during World War II, the U.S. government used the mob in New York City to protect the New York City harbor.
That checks out.
And
that
apparently,
doesn't surprise me.
Apparently, they were super good at finding German spies.
I believe that. They're real good at
finding German spies, right. making Teamster leaders disappear. Just saying. Yeah, anyone found Hoffa?
Look.
But I was a little bit worried at first about a one-off season, especially a short one-off season.
Sure, yeah.
And then I realized that they were like, it's like somebody wrote a 2-part movie and they went, "What if we just split it into 7 parts?"
Yeah.
Like,
I really enjoyed the show.
Tim Morrison as Boba Fett is brilliant.
Yeah, they kind of have teased a season 2, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I wouldn't mind it.
From what I understand, the storylines for Boba Fett, Din Djarin, Ahsoka will all be tied up together.
It's essentially going to be Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
Because Luke is going to show back up.
Yeah. I don't think a season 2 is necessary. I don't
think it's necessary.
This establishes Boba Fett as a character that is there, what he's doing, that kind of thing, and primes him for appearing in other stories. Same way with the other stories already having been made. This is what Kenobi did. The only difference here is that we don't know the next part of Boba Fett's story because it hasn't been made yet. We know what happens to Kenobi. Vader cuts him in half, and then Leia has to comfort Luke, even though Luke just lost someone he's known for 12 hours, and Leia lost her whole planet.
He has known Kenobi for longer than that. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
But also...
one person he's known his entire life, and Leia's lost her entire goddamn planet, and yet she's comforting him.
But also, Luke did lose his uncle and aunt. However...
Okay, 3 people as compared to, hundreds of millions.
A whole planet. I know. But I'm not justifying why he's sad.
Leia's just more of a badass.
It's just the fact that this just proves that the men in Star Wars are whiny bitches.
And Leia's more of a badass, yes. Yeah. We are
just saying.
We know that. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I will say that I really love and I actually need to Google this because I'm not entirely sure. How much screen time does Boba Fett have in the movies?
Oh, not long. It's like 5 minutes, if that.
Boba Fett had 4 lines of dialogue and 6.5 minutes of screen time across the original trilogy. 4 lines of dialogue and 6.5 minutes of screen time.
I mean, before Empire came out, he had his own action figure already because they were like, this is going to be a cool-ass character.
Yeah.
And people went, don't know who that is, don't know what a Mandalorian is, but that's dope as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
he's a dope-ass character. He is. He's cool as fuck.
And I love that they took this essentially throwaway character that they could have ignored and built a story around him.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, so first of all, making him the son of the gene donor for the clone army was a wonderful twist. Getting Tim Morrison to come back to continue playing him, fucking brilliant. I really do hope at some point that they have D. Bradley Baker just like do his voice and like sneak it in. And just don't tell anybody because he could do it.
Right.
I was a little concerned about this like one-off, and then they made it, and I watched it, and I was like, that was fucking perfect.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. It was very entertaining and had a good storyline, and
it fits so well into the expanded Star Wars Filoniverse. It is this is the Filoniverse now. Like this is the Star Wars Filoniverse.
Yes.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, Filoni is obviously the rightful successor to Star Wars.
He's
like
the keeper of the lore.
Yeah. I'm gonna accidentally call it the Felonyverse at some point.
Oh God! Don't do that.
Like, I mean, I misspeak. We've all heard my stutter. Like, one of my favorite things to do now, if someone makes fun of my stutter, it's like, a bit, fuck off.
All right, there, Porky Pig. What the fuck?
It surprises people, and I enjoy that. I really do love that it tees Boba up to appear
later.
Yeah.
He
didn't appear in Ahsoka.
No.
But
he's not necessary in Ahsoka.
But he can.
Yeah.
We know where he is. We know.
Right.
I mean, it leaves it open for Chrysanthemum to appear later. Oh, yes. Which, how cool would it be to see, like, Ahsoka struggling in a fight, and then Chrysanthemum comes, like, fucking Kool-Aid Man through a wall.
And then rips the arms off of the guy.
Like, I'm here to help. Oh!
That would be very good. That would be very good.
And then Boba walks in behind him and goes, I said open the door. I said open the door.
I heard go into the room.
Like, you said go into the room. The wall was faster. Leave it alone.
I didn't have to turn a handle on the wall and just walk in.
And Fennec Shan's outside shooting a bunch of people. Like, oh, this is fun for me.
Yay!
There was a question I was asked that I wanted to pose to you.
Uh-huh.
And now it's covered Book of Boba Fett. This is more of a random side topic.
Sure.
Someone asked me the other day if you could make a spin-off Star Wars show starring any 3 characters from whatever iteration of Star Wars you choose.
Okay.
Who would you pick and why? I have my choice.
Ooh.
I 100% have my choice down. Mine would be Sabine,
okay,
Wrecker, Fennec Shan.
Okay.
Because those 3 together would be phenomenal, and that would be a great show.
I may have to think about that because I don't know.
One of yours is going to be Ahsoka.
Well, yeah. However, I also have been saying for a long time that I'd like to see some sort of spinoff with Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Because we got a little bit of Padawan Qui-Gon in Tales of the Jedi.
Touch of him, yeah.
But I really want more story of Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
So I think that would be one with obviously Liam Neeson. And I wouldn't mind seeing like how he and Obi-Wan connected, you know, how Obi-Wan became his Padawan and stuff like that. But
yeah, Qui-Gon went, I need a Padawan and I need one who's not, you know,
completely useless, please.
Completely devoted to every single rule of the Jedi Order, because I look at the rules of the Jedi Order more as like
suggestions,
guidelines that you're free to ignore.
Right. I think another one would be
also Qui-Gon fucks.
Qui-Gon
totally fucked.
Oh, Qui-Gon fucks.
I mean, Obi-Wan had Satine.
And Obi-Wan fucked. Like, no one can convince me otherwise.
Corky is Obi-Wan's kid. End of discussion.
Right.
Like,
I think another fun spinoff that I would like is to see the beginnings of Thrawn.
Yep.
Like to see that whole thing before he became part of the Empire. So I think that would be cool. With, Lars obviously playing Thrawn.
Sure. See, I more want to put the two Splody people and the sniper together. And
no, that's fair.
And just have a whole show of them wreaking havoc.
That's absolutely fair.
Because half the show would just be Sabine and Wrecker arguing over who gets to push the button.
Sure.
So,
yeah. No, that's fair.
And I mean, come on. Has anyone in any TV show ever been as happy as Wrecker was when Anakin handed him the detonator?
No. No, I don't think
You
so.
mean I get to push the button? Awesome! But yeah, so random tangents are kind of our thing. Just deal with it. Book of Boba Fett was excellently done, start to finish. Especially as like within the Mandalorian story, and telling the Mandalorian story as that bridging story, and it teed up the third season of Mandalorian really, really well.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go into that right now, obviously, 'cause that's gonna be our next episode.
Yep.
But I will say that now that the Mando has his fighter and his little bubble for Grogu. We do get a scene later where they're flying through hyperspace.
Yep.
And Grogu's looking out and he sees the Purrgil.
It's so cute.
And he's just like, ooh, wow. And you see the little ghosted Purrgil also flying through hyperspace, which, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The Filoniverse is well connected.
Yes.
Brilliantly so.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Speaking of which, our next episode is going to be Mandalorian Season 3.
Yeah.
It is so far the last episode, or the last season of The Mandalorian, which we're going to have more coming up, but it's a damn good one.
Yeah, I do like Season 3 a lot.
It's a damn good one. So if you'd like to hear us nerd the fuck out about that shit, because that's what this channel is.
Join us next time. Yeah.
I had like a 90s flashback. Join us next time on that's gonna be a fun dive.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Also, Grogu saves the day at the end. So
of course he does, because he's Grogu and he's perfect.
He's fucking Grogu.
And he's perfect.
But yeah, join us for that one next time. Also, coming up in the next few weeks, because we're still developing it for now, is going to be our American Cryptid channel. If you have any suggestions for cryptids from your state that you'd like to see us do, please put them in the comments. Just know that if you're from Ohio, we're already doing the Loveland Frogman, 100%. I mean, how can we not?
Yeah.
If you happen to be from anywhere in the Northeast, a lot of your cryptids are kind of garbage. Could you suggest ones I haven't heard of?
Yeah, because there's probably a lot we don't know. So
yes, please, because a lot of the ones I found are very dumb. Like there's one that people thought there was a giant snake in the woods. Turned out some guy just lost his Burmese python.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll talk about it.
That one started out. As I started reading about that, I'm like, this sounds super cool. And then then someone reported a Burmese python missing. I'm like, oh, god damn it. That was gonna be fun. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, join us for that one too. That one's gonna be super interesting. We're gonna dive into where these stories come from in folklore, and it's gonna be fun. Gonna be super cool.
I'm excited.
So join us for that one, because that's gonna be Lil's. That's gonna be the one Lil just fucking salivates over.
Look, I love cryptids. They're my favorite thing. They're so fun and so interesting. It just makes me very happy.
They're also not real, but we're still gonna talk about them. So
it doesn't matter. I don't care if they're not real. I love them. I think they're fascinating.
But yeah, join us for that one, because that's gonna be a damn good time.
Yeah. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at BabylonBS.
Please follow us on Instagram. You'll be talking to Lil. They are far more entertaining to speak to than I am.
True. And subscribe to our YouTube.
Subscribe.
Please. Share with your friends.
Because, hey, let's be honest. We're funny.
Well, I'm funny.
Okay, yes. Lil's funny. I'm
moderately entertaining.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, take it.
I'll take it.
Take it. That's the only compliment you're getting today.
That's fair.
Yeah. You have a limit of one compliment a day. And I'd never give them to you. So here's your one for today. For the week, really. It's probably for the week.
That's touching.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gross. Anyway.
I was going to say I might cry, but...
No, you won't.
No, I'm good. But yeah, please join us for the Cryptid channel or for our next episode on The Mandalorian. Yes. Don't worry, our Star Wars channel will keep going for a while because we are nowhere near through all of it.
No, it's never ending.
My God.
And I love it.
It's great. And at some point, we will dive into other
nerdy things,
genre or other nerdy stuff. Like, I'm a big old Star Wars fan. We're 100%.
Star Trek.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do you know my brain better than I do?
I don't know. You need more coffee, I think.
Me too.
And burritos.
Yes.
I was looking at places for burritos, and apparently there's one called.
Yeah.
Is it good?
No.
Well, that's a goddamn shame.
But on that note, thank you for joining us today. I've been Will.
I've been Lila.
We will see you guys next time.
Bye.